Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. It's time to continue on with our Moto3 career mode. It is time for one of my favourite circuits ever, the TT circuit of Assen. So here we are, round 8, starting on the front row, third position for us. We wait for the red lights to go out and away we go. This time we have two objectives: to beat not only Tatsuki Suzuki, but this time to beat Xavi Artigas as well. As we now go into turn 1, it's getting a bit hairy between Artigas and Holgado to the right as we get caught upon the rumble strip, but we do have Diogo Moreira ahead of us, which I'm hoping we can go into my patented favourite lunge into Strubben, but I think we've run it a bit too deep this time around as Xavi Artigas and I make more contact into turn 4. But here it comes, the lunge into Strubben, bit wide from the AI, but we are able to sneak on through when we just bash fairings with the CF Moto of Xavi Artigas. But we have now moved up into second place, and Moreira 0.6 of a second ahead. I don't fancy him breaking away like he did last time out in the Saxon Ring. Of course, without spoiling anything, that was a very interesting and fierce battle in the Saxon Ring, so definitely check it out if you've not watched it yet. So coming out of Steckenval, this is going into De Bolt. Not a corner I feel very strong with, but I'm hoping after my experience recently... Oh, what the hell happened then? Completely spiked it on the brakes there, just completely went sideways. Really ruined that, and I completely ruined Diogo Moreira's lap time there. Apologies to Diogo going into that corner, that wasn't my intention at all. But we go into the right side. Where is Moreira going? Really tight to the apex. So this is, of course, after the most recent updates as we barge our way through on the MSI KTM with Diogo Moreira as we just reach the 6th gear there, battling and rattling it out into the final couple of corners as we now dive into the gear Timmer chicane with a 0.5 of a second advantage. It's a beautiful change of direction there, puts us 0.4 of a second adrift of Moreira in second. Now, one thing I will say is I have the benefit of doing some time trials here very recently. Just yesterday's video was beating the aces in this very same track with the exact same bike. Of course, albeit it was the Leopard Honda, but it's still the Honda regardless. And I really... Are my eyes deceiving me? Do we have a 1 second advantage there against the AI on the 120% difficulty? This is the maximum. But of course, as mentioned in my previous video, the AI's competition is no longer as thrilling as and intense as it was, and I'm hoping that isn't going to affect us in this video today, because I was really enjoying these Moto3 career mode videos. They're great to race and they're absolutely brilliant to commentate. But it looks so far that we might have already dethroned not only Moreira but anyone else who's possibly going to give us some trouble. 0.9 of a second away from the Brazilian as it stands. I'm not very strong into De Bolt, although I have had some practice recently. Turn 9 is not a corner I feel confident with at all. Not too bad for Mandovan for turn 10, but... And the rest of the laps I'm pretty good with, well, at least, the rest of the corners of the lap. But that turn 9 for De Bolt is not a corner I enjoy, so what I am going to do is, just in case the AI cannot fight back, I'm going to stay on power setting 2. I'm not going to change the power setting 3 now. I'm going to keep it for as long as we can. And if the AI do decide to get closer towards the end of the Grand Prix, then maybe I'll consider using the third power option. But a quick change direction into 17. We're a bit sluggish that time around as I'm trying to line the bike up. Across the line, a 1:45.030 goes the man who was leading the World Championship. Of course, lost that in the Saxon Ring last time out. Thank you again to Daniel Holgado. Well, coming into Magic, and again for the right-hand side for the Otterbroken, we have almost... Is it going to reach that 1 second advantage? Doesn't look like it. Looks like Moreira's been able to fight back. Now, what we are going to be expecting in this Grand Prix, with a lot of MotoGP 23, it does seem that the AI doesn't suffer the bike lifting up when we accelerate. So their lap times and their speed in the corners will be stronger. Now, we noticed this in the qualifying, at least I did. I was able to close in, but in the long corners, those sweeping right-handers, left-handers, you name it, they seem to gain a bit of advantage. But of course, guys, if you are enjoying the content so far and you want to stick around for the rest and see more videos just like this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. It does help out the channel quite a lot, and we're not too far away from 7,500 subscribers, so I would appreciate it. And of course, if we get them to 8k, would be even better. Be 2 times my resolution, that one, instead of 4k, of course. So we have lost a bit of time. We're down to 0.5 of a second to the Brazilian behind us, and 2 seconds to the Spaniard in the form of Xavi Artigas. So right now, Moreira is looking strong for a second place, which will only be, what, a couple of points to our advantage? 5 more points to our championship overhaul? Well, yeah, it'd be 4 points we would actually take away from Moreira. We'd be leading by just 4 points. So 5 points to gain. It's a very important race, this one here in Assen. Of course, one of my favourite tracks. I don't hope for anything but a win. I absolutely love Assen. It's a fantastic circuit, so I'm not entirely sure if it's just that I'm pretty good at Assen and I do very much enjoy it. Is that the kicker here, or is the AI just not so strong, to say it in a polite term? It does seem that they aren't able to live with this pace, and right now the medium front and the hard rear is a combination working out extremely well. We are only 4.5 laps into it, but I'm quite confident that this is the tyre to choose. We did take that gamble with the soft option rear last time out in the Sachsenring in Germany, and I don't feel it went very well. Of course, still sticking with the same electronics with TCS 1, engine brake 4, and power obviously will change throughout the races. Now, of course, if you are looking for a particular electronic setup, I wouldn't advise taking anyone's advice, but just try it yourself and see which one works best for you. Now, I can give you advice in the terms of which one to use from what you're struggling with, but ultimately, just because I use this doesn't mean that you should use it either. Just try it and see what you think. I do very much like this combination of the electronics here in Moto 3. Now, that time is very, very, very misleading. I thought we just lost a lot of time there, but if we did, we gained it all back going into the Ramschuk. We're 0.8 of a second adrift now. Into De Bolt, which I expected. We did lose a little bit of time. Time's oscillating quite a lot as we get that change direction into the final corner and across the line. It's not an improvement, but it's still a decent showing nonetheless. A 1:45.292 for the former World Championship leader. So now coming into Harbock for turn 1. Beautiful corner to get right as we now dive into Magic for turn 2. 1/10 of a second behind. Now, of course, our fastest lap was set with power setting 3 on at least a couple of the lap. But I'll be honest, these lap times aren't anything particularly impressive. We did the Beat the Aces video yesterday, and I'm certain that they were significantly stronger than 1:45.2s. I can't really remember what it was at the top of my head. Maybe a 1:44 or maybe a 1:43. But all I know is that we certainly went faster in that challenge yesterday. Now, I'll try and have a look at it whilst commentating through this Grand Prix, but not taking anything away from the video. It was a 1:42.69 or 6.62 that we nailed in yesterday's video. So we are 3 seconds off of that pace that we set in the qualifying, or at least the time trial that I did to beat the Aces. This is a surprising race. Very surprising. We have lost a couple more tenths of a second to Moreira in second. Now, I am looking at the left-hand side of the screen because I've just noticed something that I didn't even comment on. Tatsuki-san, Tatsuki Suzuki, is just set a 1:44.994. That is the fastest lap of the Grand Prix by anyone by at least a couple of hundredths of a second. Do we need to consider... Also, Yamamasi has moved up to third. Do we have the Leopard Honda duo charging their way through the pack to make it a double podium? This is something I'm going to be watching with a very close eye on now. Tatsuki Suzuki did improve again, did he? I do believe he did. I'm sure my eyes don't deceive me. I think Tatsuki Suzuki is on his way. Suzuki on the Honda. He's up into 5th. Holgado's moved down a spot. Altola down there in 7th, and Ayumi Sasaki still holding the fort in 8th place with his Japanese parts. Now into Struben for the left-hand side. I am really curious to see. I just want to know if that graphic. Yamamasi into 3rd place, of course. Xavi Artigas going backwards at this stage of the Grand Prix. We are now 2.4 seconds clear from the number 43. And of course, our 47 is 4 better than 43. So take that, Xavier. And I've just noticed for the very first time this Grand Prix, it has consistently stayed above a second. And you know what I'm going to say? If you're familiar with the channel, you can say it with me. If you get 1 second above the competition, if you get it above the guy in second, you break the resolve of the rider. Are we doing that right now? Are we proving that we are on another level here in Moto 3? We're on power setting 2, ladies and gentlemen. We're not using the third power option. I could probably go down to power setting 1, but that might be a bit too far. So for now, I'm going to stick with 2 and I'll gauge it from there. Now, the next race, which will be coming up very soon, a couple of days' time, of course, if you know my schedule, will be in the Sokol circuit. What on earth has happened to Moreira? 2.3 seconds is the gap now, and we're trending to go to make it the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Across the line, it's at 1:44.608 on lap 6 of 11. This man cannot be beaten. I can't be beaten. We can't be beaten. This is a rub your hands together, cherish the moment right now for us with a 2.4 second advantage. I do apologise if it's not the most enthralling race with lots of overtakes and battles, but I'm going to hopefully try and impress you with some good, solid consistency. Now, I've probably said that, I'm going to end up making a big hash on this lap, but I'm hoping not. And of course, guys, there comes the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that button if you want to stick around for a lot more videos just like this one. And of course, if you're looking for guides as well, I also do them as well. So definitely have a look for those as well. But just notice now, actually, things getting interesting. We have movement in the podium positions. Jaume Masia has now claimed the scalp of Diogo Moreira for second. The young Brazilian is going backwards and is losing more championship points to his nearest closest rival in the form of us. The 28-year-old man from Warrington, if you didn't know. That's me. I am Matt Grant. There you go. This feels weird to say my own name in a video before that isn't DrAce, of course. So into turn 12 in a corner I can never pronounce. 2.1 seconds, 2.2 is the gap to Jaume Masia. Now, is he able to close us down? He would have to take, what, 0.5 of a second out of us now per lap to get anywhere close. I don't see that happening, and this is going to be another stellar lap for the man on board the 658 Squadra Corsa Honda. It's another 1:44. This time it's a 1:44.7, but Jaume Masia, a 1:44.2. Masia's not playing around. He's not using power setting 2, is he? This is intriguing now, because the AI in MotoGP 22 and 21 tended to get much stronger as the race progresses. Is this the new trend which will be happening now in MotoGP 23? All I know is that the AI is much weaker. Goodness me, we found 0.4 of a second briefly in that corner. 0.2 of a second we ultimately found within the Struben corner. That has given me a right boost now, though. Masia's taken the fastest lap, and I'm more than pumped now to try and dethrone him for that position. Of course, it doesn't give any extra points or anything, but I'm just curious to see if we can beat the 1:44.2 on power setting 2. The Leopard Honda in that time trial was so rapid compared to this Honda right now. Of course, this is the 658 Squadra Corsa Honda, so it's not the most powerful purpose-built bike out of all of them. Of course, we have the standard Honda engineers. But I'm just curious to think that what is the difference? I guess in career mode we don't have any upgrades yet, where the Leopard Honda will have a lot of upgrades. The gap has just dropped down to 1.7. We're still very well and truly on it. And look at Tatsuki-san. Suzuki has now made himself known for the podium positions, and it is exactly what I thought it would be, or potentially could be. The Leopard Honda riders have made it to second and third. This is a great story for them. Doesn't do us any favour for the championship, and it certainly doesn't do any favours for the team's championship. Oh, and look at that lap time. Wow! Another identical lap time of a 1:44.732. I said I'd try and impress you with consistent lap times, and there it is. The voice may be going, but the consistency still stays. I'm very happy with that one. Definitely need a drink in a minute though, because it's getting rather raspy to commentate this one. Done a few videos today, of course. Still hoping to do more if I get the chance, but into or out of Strubben, we're just trending to be about the same. But I've got to be honest with you, we're not gaining time here. Massey's got the lead down to 1.6. Now I know what you're thinking. 1.6 seconds, 2.5 laps to go. It's a done deal, right? Right? It only takes one mistake, ladies and gentlemen. One mistake, and this could be neck and neck again. Now, I don't want to make any mistakes, and I'm riding at probably one of my best right now, especially here in Assen. This is just feeling natural. It's a beautiful flow. I love this circuit. It's a great one. It's one of the best ones, but unfortunately, I'm actually under a bit of pressure here. 1.2, 1.3. If that drops to below a second, the resolve of the rider in second doesn't get broken. It's the rider in first whose resolve gets broken. And that is a challenge to manage that and not fall behind or fall behind the wayside and just say, look, this is a lot of pressure now, I'm getting nervous, this is not going to work. And in fact, I've gotten deep into the Geert Timmer chicane, not quite as clean as it was on the previous lap, not a very good exit either. Oh, and unfortunately that has dropped us back into 145s. That will be music to the ears of the Leopard Honda team. Is the duo going to be arriving together? Or is it just Jam and Massey on an absolute mission right now? 1.4 seconds it is. Oh, this is interesting. This is really cool now. I like this. I'm glad the AI's got stronger towards the last stages Grand Prix. Thank goodness I haven't been using Power Setting 3. I do very much fear that for the rest of MotoGP 23 videos we may only be using Power Setting 2 or 1. I do know that the so-called one in Kazakhstan is a pretty tight and tense race. But for now, I'm not sure. We are trending to be going quicker on this lap. Still in the second power option. 1.4 seconds it is. Massey behind. There's not enough time. There can't be. Tola's just gone backwards a little bit. He's still in the top 8 and Sasaki seems to be bouncing backwards and forwards. It's happening again whilst I'm looking on the screen. But for this penultimate lap, this is the most important one of the race. It's got to be. If Massey gets that to a second, he's going to have to take a second from me in that last lap. But he has closed it down. It's down to 9/10, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm still putting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix in here. Or at least my personal best. I can't go any quicker on this Honda. I'm giving it everything here in the penultimate lap. 1.3 seconds separates us and Jam and Massey. The Leopard Honda duo. In fact, I just noticed it's going to be a Honda trio on the podium. Honda 1, 2, 3. When was the last time you seen that? Across the line, it's a 1:44.609. What a response against Jam and Massey. That's how you do it. Responding when it matters the most. Not allowing the competition to bully us into mistakes. I'm feeling good. I love Assen. Please, stay on board, keep the lap times coming, and finish this one with 25 perfect, crucial points for our championship challenge. Another fast sector going into Sector 1. Massey has not been able to improve, and he has not been able to close us down. Of course, with the second power setting, there's a lot of corners here that are fast and flowing at maximum gear. This is where we'll lose time. 1.2. Is it going to drop? It's oscillating all of the time. 1.2, 1.1, 1.3. I think we've done it. I really do. But goodness me, that was fun. That was intense. That has really changed the complexion of this video. We've seen many times before. We've got to be smart and we fight with the AI. But this time, they've pushed me to the brink here. They really have. The gap has dropped down to 9/10 of a second. Beautiful apex going into the Ducas loop. It's gone down to 7/10. But the way the AI take that corner, we should have this one in the bag. I'm pleased, actually. I'm really happy with the way this has worked out, because I have been concerned since the new update that the AI is just not very good. But it has made this interesting towards the end here. It might not have been the best one, but that was a thrilling chess match at 160 plus miles an hour. So into the final corner. I've cut the corner there a little bit. Call me an esports player, because across the line, we have taken victory after cutting the corner. Brilliant. So there you are then, guys. 1.3 seconds ahead of Jam and Massey with another brilliant race here in the Moto3 career mode. I'm very much enjoying this, and I certainly hope you are as well. But look at that right at the end, Ryusuke Yamanaka, a 1:43.395. That's an absurd lap time considering what everyone else was doing, but there you go. On screen right now, that is the confirmation of the Riders' Championship. We are leading now by just 11 points and 24 away from Daniel Holgado as Massa and Suzuki both do themselves a favour and stay in 4th and 5th. But guys, that's going to be it for me. I will leave the Teams Championship on the screen, and I guess I will see you in tomorrow's videos. Thanks for watching as always. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you have any video requests, be sure to leave me some messages in the comment section down below, or alternatively in the DrAce Academy Discord server. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you to the channel members. You'll be seeing them at the end of the video, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now.
Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.